We are going live. I'm just making sure that I'm getting the confirmation from Facebook, but I'm pretty sure we're live. So listen, while I'm waiting for this, I know a lot of you are reaching out to me and my team to verify that the challenge is really free. Yes, the challenge is really free. I promise the challenge is really free, okay? So we are going to do a free Money Smart Mamas Challenge. It begins on Monday, okay? It begins on the 7th. We're going to be doing, I'm going to teach you how to get your finances together, how to get everything organized. I'm going to teach you a little bit of personal bookkeeping using free software. So the training's free, the software's free, okay? And it's not just like a free trial, like the software's free forever, okay? So I'm going to teach you how to get it all set up. And then we're going to talk about money fundamentals. We're going to talk about paying down debt. We're going to talk about savings. We're going to talk about investing. We're going to talk about all those things that you wish somebody taught you. You wish somebody was teaching your kids. We're going to teach all of those things during the challenge. Okay. So critically important that you sign up. If you have not signed up for the challenge, msmchallenge.com. It's also in the description of the video. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the brand new, okay, the brand new expanded child tax credit, okay? And I just want to make sure, listen, if you can hear me, if you are live, can you just let me know? I'm just going to click on this to make sure. Brand new. Cool, okay, make sure that I've got the comments there. All right, so earlier this year, Congress passed a brand new expanded child tax credit. The child tax credit, that's the one that you get for having children. So this isn't the dependent care credit where you got to send them to daycare. This isn't the one where you need to have like college expenses. This is not what that is. Okay, this is the one just for having kids. Now, prior to this year, that credit was $2,000 per child, okay? And if you made less than $400,000 as a married filing joint couple or $200,000 for everybody else, you got this credit up to $2,000 per child. Those are the old rules, okay? And that credit still exists. Let's talk about the new rules. So the new rules, the credit is $3,000 per child through the age of 17. So it used to be up to 17. For 2021, they're including 17-year-olds. Okay, so your 17-year-olds are not going to get cut off. They have to be under the age of 17, be like on December 31st. Okay, so if they turn 17, I'm sorry, if they turn 18 on December 31st, they're out. Okay. So they have to be under the age of 18 as of December 31st, okay? Now here's the cool thing, so $3,000 per child, no limit on the number of children. If your child is under 6, which means birth to 5, at the end of 2021, that credit goes from $3,000 to $3,600, okay? So that, I mean, that right there that's huge, okay? But Congress thought to themselves, you know what? It's really cool that we're giving out this money per child, but it's not really helping families unless we can get it into their pockets when they need it, right? Because you know, you can't call up your landlord and say, hey, listen, I know I can't make August rent, but I'm going to get this really big child tax credit in like February, okay? Or you need to get your car fixed, or you need to get whatever it is, you just need groceries, right? So Congress tasked the IRS with figuring out a way to pay out half of this credit in the second half of 2021. Okay, so basically, starting in July, the IRS is going to start sending out payments for half of the credit. Okay, so we're still waiting for guidance, which is kind of scary because this is supposed to start in a month. But essentially, what's supposed to happen is that the IRS is supposed to send out $250 per child per month for kids between the ages of 6 and 17, and $300 a month for kids between the ages of birth to 5. Okay. Per child per month from July to December. Now, just think about that for a second. First of all, the impact that that's going to have on a lot of families. Okay. Now, the income range for this is lower. Okay. So for this enhanced credit, the income is lower. It's 150,000 married filing joint or 75,000 single. Okay. And if you're head of household, it's 112,500. Okay. It's like smack in the middle. Okay. So think about this for a second. That's a lot of money that's going to be going out in people's hands. Okay. So first of all, it's great for you if you've got friends who have kids, let them know that this is coming. People are asking me, is this based, how do they know the numbers, right? How are they going to know if you're at the 150 or not? So they're going to use your 2020 tax return. If they don't have your 2020 tax return, they're going to use your 2019 tax return. Okay. You do not need to have earned income to get this. Okay. Now the IRS has said that they are going to set something up so that way, if you've had another child born, if you want to opt out, if you think your income is going to be lower and you're going to qualify, if you don't file taxes normally because your income is too low, they're going to have a system very similar to the one that they had for the COVID payments, where you can go in and you can put in your information, update your information. If you change banks, anything like that, you'll be able to update your info. So that's coming. Okay. But so think about, so if you have, I was talking to somebody the other day, she has 4 children under the age of 5. Okay. So that's 4 children times $300 a month. That's $1,200 a month. Okay. Potentially. So this is going to be really, really interesting. So you're going to want to make sure, if you don't want to explain this to your friends, send them to this video. Okay. We're going to keep this video up. Send them to this video so that they can watch it. They can ask questions. We'll be monitoring the comments even after the live, just to make sure that everybody knows, that everybody knows what's going on with this. Does disabled or Social Security get anything in July? This is only for people who would qualify for the child tax credit. Okay. So this is basically what they're doing. This is what they're doing. They're taking a credit that people would normally take on their tax returns. Okay. And they're paying out the money in advance. Okay. And so this is a credit that's on the tax return. If you do not get the money July through December, you're going to get it when you file your taxes in February. So this is just an advance payment of the credit. So what's going to happen, okay, what's going to happen is kind of like you had to do on your taxes this year. If you filed your 2020 taxes, there was a question that said, did you get the advance payments? And if you answered yes, okay, then you didn't get an additional refund. If you answered no, then you would have gotten the money at that time. Okay, so this is exactly the same thing. They're doing it again. Okay. Now, somebody asked, well, what if you are, what if you're between 150 and 400,000? So they weren't really clear on the guidance of this. I know that if you're so it doesn't automatically cut off when you go above 150, it actually phases out. Okay. The additional child tax credit. And so they're going to send you less money based off your 2020 taxes. They weren't super clear about whether or not they're going to send it out to people who make, let's say 350,000, if they're going to get half of their child tax credit sent out to them. Not super clear on that. Again, we're still waiting for a lot of guidance on this for something that's supposed to happen in a month. But you have to remember the IRS, they had a really rough year this year. Okay. So they had a really, really rough year because Congress changed the tax law in the middle of tax season, affecting last year. right? They made some changes that affected last year. In the middle of filing season was extended, right? We're still only about 2.5 weeks out from the end of tax season. And now they need to build this other system in place to get these payments out. Is this the same amount as previous years, just in advance, or is it an increased child tax credit paid out in advance? That's a great question, Julie. So they increased the child tax credit from $2,000 to $3,000. Okay, and if the child is 5 or under, it's $3,600. And so the advance is going to be half of the total amount. Okay, so basically, they'll be sending out $1,500 over 6 months. If your kids are between 6 and 17, they'll be sending out $1,800. If your kids are between the ages of birth and 5. Okay, but so it's more money, right? And it's in advance of that money. So it's both. Okay. But so now I know for a lot of you, so they're going, okay, so this money is going to come. What am I going to do with it? How can I get like the most out of it? You know, it's going to land in my account. It's going to disappear and I'm just going to spend it. Sign up for the Money Smart Mama Challenge. Okay. We're doing that challenge next week. It's going to be great. You get all your finances in place. We get it all organized for you so that you can spend this money the best way possible. And remember, this challenge is completely free. Okay, you're gonna get 7 days access to this challenge. Do the challenge with me. I'm gonna be there a lot. I'm gonna be coaching you through. So it's gonna be a really great opportunity for you to really learn how to manage your money well. Go to MSM for Money Smart Mama, msmchallenge.com. Sign up. We're gonna start on Monday. Let me know if you have any other questions about the child tax credit, the increase in the credit, or the advance payments. Super excited. I know, like Carlotta said, she can't wait to learn. I'm super excited to run this challenge for you guys. If you don't know, I paid off over $220,000 in consumer debt with my husband after I finished my battle with Hodgkin's lymphoma. I had cancer in 2006. Went through that battle. Then we started another battle against all the debt that we had. Paid that off, turned everything around, and I'm super excited to share with you just everything that I've learned over the years about money, finances, debt, savings, investments. Because I think a lot of people think that if you go to school and get a business degree, they teach this stuff. They don't. They don't. I can't tell you how embarrassing it was as an accountant, right? When I finally came out and said, yes, we had all this debt, we paid it off. And so I want to share that with you guys. I really believe that we went through that for a reason. And so I'm super excited to go through this challenge. So the link is in the comments, msmchallenge.com. Super excited to go through this with you. And all right, guys, I will talk to you soon. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye.